Did you know that one of the best things you can do for someone that is hurting is often just be there? I think sometimes we feel as though we need to explain something to a person when we really have no idea what is even going on. You don't need to explain it because explanations don't heal a broken heart. You need to sometimes just be there. You remember even Jesus, when he was facing his impending crucifixion, was there in the Garden of Gethsemane. And he gathered Peter, James, and John, and he said to them, "My soul is crushed with grief to the point of death. Stay here and watch with me." Jesus didn't ask for a sermon. He didn't ask for an explanation. He asked for a friend. And that's all Job needed, was a friend. And that's all a lot of people need right now. It's just a friend. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to sort it out for them. Just go to them and say, "I love you. I'm here for you. I'm praying for you." I remember a guy a number of years ago who had his daughter die in a tragic auto accident. And I had not seen him since it had happened. About a month had passed. And I was with him in a room along with some other guys. And no one brought the subject up. Though this man had recently lost his own daughter, no one mentioned it because I think everyone's uncomfortable when someone has died. And you don't want to bring it up to the people who lost that individual because they might cry or it might be awkward, or so you just leave the subject alone. And finally I took him aside and I didn't really know what to say to him, but I just said, "I'm so sorry about your daughter." And he just opened up, "Thank you for mentioning that." And he wanted to talk about it and unburden himself. And yeah, he teared up a little bit, but that's part of the process of mourning. You see, sometimes we think we have to have all these explanations. Just be there. And a lot of times some of the things we say can actually be counterproductive. I've heard it all. When I've been with people who are suffering, who are maybe in a hospital room, or maybe lost a child or a spouse or someone else unexpectedly, and I hear what people will say to them and how it can actually in some cases do more harm than good. Saying things like, "Well, I know how you feel," when you probably don't. Or, "Well, there's a reason for everything." And at that point, they certainly can't see one. "Well, no one ever said life was fair." I mean, I guess that's true, but is that the time to bring it up? "Well, that which doesn't kill us makes us stronger." What idiot came up with that, Jim? "Well, you need to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps." Yeah, that's comforting. "Cheer up, there's always someone worse off." What? All that person is going to see are the people who are better off. How about this one? "When life gives you lemons, make lemonade." Now they're actually thinking of hurting you. "Don't worry, be happy." Now they're thinking of killing you. "Have a nice day." Now they are going to kill you. Even Christians can say insensitive things. We can say something along the lines of, for instance, a loved one died, and we'll say, "Well, you know what? Don't be sad. You'll see him in heaven." What do you mean, don't be sad? Of course you can be sad if a loved one has died. Even when young Stephen was martyred for the faith, we read that devout men wept for him. There's a place for mourning. The Bible says there's a time to mourn. There's a time to laugh. Listen, here's what you need to do with people who are hurting. Romans 12:15, "Rejoice with those that rejoice and mourn with those that mourn."